Welcome to another Friday closing bell for the week ending 11th of September. And looking back on the notes that I have, last week we have a failed test. Let me see if that's a failed test or not. And which is here. This was a failed test, which is the fourth. And we have a spring. If you look at the IVSA chart, if you are a subscriber, you would see that I believe this was a spring. And the market went back up and we had another test. I will show that you later. So what's happening now is it looks like we have a pivot low, which is at the lowest was around what 1562. Okay, so let me make note of that pivot low at any one point of time. I believe this will be tested again. Since then, market has gone back up and it broken back to 1600, which is a good level, and I foresee that should able to hold. Now the key thing is the date. Okay, the key thing is the date, which is the September 16 is the anti-Bursa rally, so we should make note that 17 is the FOMC, so which means September 18 is where US FOMC will raise interest rate or not. That's the key thing we are looking at, and I'll be interested to see how it would pan out. Okay, how it would pan out. This is pretty important in the scheme of things because we want to know at the market it is. Now, like it or not, the ringgit, as I will show you after, continue to get worse actually, 4.3. But I do think possibility, I'm pretty sure that the US FOMC may not raise rates judging from what we've seen in the market. And tonight, I believe the Wall Street US Dow Jones will continue to sell off too because they always go the other way around. Okay, now let's look at what we have here so far. You can see here we are doing what we call a one night Joe. Okay, a one night Joe trade here. Very nice. I love it. Whenever they do this, it can go either way, up or down. So take note of that one. So if US won't raise interest rate, that means it's a nice way of breaking up to the upside. Okay, breaking up to the upside, and I felt that this would be possibly the way to go forward. Now let's look at the weekly standpoint here, which you will see, right? And pretty good. We close up again. Take a look at this part here. You can see this is what we are talking about, bar by bar. Markets trying to congest in here, building some sort of range. Volume has sort of increased this week. Notice the down volume here, selling was much lower, but the up volume was higher and is still above average volume. Now looking at the mid cap stock, nice, continue to push up, and that's what mid cap always does. If we fall in and it continue to go up. Same goes for the small cap stock in here. You have this narrowing like a railway track, so trend is still down. So definitely the 1500 level is the key thing, but I do think there is a gravitational pull back to this in here. I believe we have seen the low, and now there's a news coming in, which is the September 18. Okay, 18, that's the point. Okay, let's look at the small cap stock again. Now looking at the weekly chart, you can see nice spring here, market rally back up, and that's what we are looking at. You can see this bar here and in here. That doesn't mean the trend has reversed back. We're still pretty much in a downward trend. Now let's look at the foreign funds. No change from last week. As you can see, we look back the last 5 days, almost 700 million net sellers. Okay, 700 million sellers. It has been seller every week. I can't even remember this. I've seen so bad of this. As such, you can see also the US dollar to ringgit strengthening, so that makes our ringgit much cheaper in here. Although good thing is the selling has reduced. Let's hopefully see some buying next week. Okay, now FKLI and FCPO, this is what we are looking at. And FKLI, definitely same goes for in here. Nice base building in here, breaking 1600. That's the key thing in here. You can look at lower lows. Okay, higher high. Is this higher? High was 1600, 1697.5. Okay, lower lows, that's for sure. Okay, So it does point to upside here rather than downside in here. On the CPO, which I've never checked, broke through above the 2000, 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, as you go higher, a lot of profit taking which is coming up, and you see an uptrust here. Need to be confirmed when next week we have a follow through or not. Alright, so we've done those FKLI and CPO. Let's look at the regional market, which is my favorite market, the SGX. Now SGX, this is quite good. You have a double bottom. This was what I was expecting from Malaysia. You can see that you know, here same thing, 1, 2. This is the one, 1540. So last week when I talked about it, that was the one, but instead Singapore make it 1, 2. So if you look at the weekly chart, that will be good, because you can see that that's what it means, you see. So it's forming a triangle in here, and typically that's what we want to see. I don't think Singapore is going down anymore with the election coming in. Results should be out I think next week. It's definitely a PAP winning the Singapore in there. The question is how much majority, how much is the majority in here. So we done the Singapore. Let's look at the regional market, and you can see the regional market here. The US Dow Jones in here again. Last week I draw this triangle, broke up, and guess what? Hey, look, don't look at it. It doesn't look like it's going to go down. Okay, we went up 70 points in here, and uptrust, no follow through. Pointing upside, pointing upside. Okay, or congest. Does look like a sideway or congestion here. We done the Hang Seng. Before I go to Hang Seng, let's go to the Shanghai market. Hey, congestion, lots of cluster closes, bullish sign. Bullish sign. That also points to Hang Seng. So bullish signs. Okay, Straits Time we did that. And Australia, looking at Australia now, also same thing, one double bottom or W, try to go up. We have a 2-bar reversal, lower low. It does look like it's going to go up here. Nikkei for the first time broke through the 200-day moving average, which is seen then, try to test that again, couldn't go back up. Again, this was more interesting, a W, which is a double bottom, but pierced through the lower low. Again, no volume to justify it. Market went up by 7% the other day, after we have the so-called rates cut. Okay, and that seems to be putting Nikkei back into the similar line. Now let's look at the next thing. We want to look at its wicks. Okay, now wicks, take a look at the volatility. Now wicks, we always been around the 20 mark. It measures the fear and greed. Right now in the US Dow Jones, a lot of fear, definitely a lot of fear. As such, it hit to 25, went up to 53 once. We haven't seen that for a long time, way back to 2013, as far back to 2008 when I first saw it. Went up to about 66 was the magic figure. We went up 53, came back off. And if rates decided to be whole, not cut, and postpone it to sometime in October or December, then we will see another volatility again coming back. But it does point that US Dow Jones may revert back to the upside tonight, going forward with that. So you can see this is doing 24.4337, and last week we were at 26.68. okay, so that's pretty interesting going forward there. And let's look at gold, which has a very impact to the oil and gas sector in Malaysia, especially the companies like Petronas in here. Nice one, up 3%, right? Am I correct? Now, if you want to see a better thing, switch on to the weekly chart. You can see crude oil whoa, definitely. The 50-day moving average, that's the one. Okay, you can see in here, building up a nice base here, lots of volume here going up. Whenever you try to go up in a high volume, it will suffer a bit, right? The $60 in here is the pressure point. Now, going back to daily chart, it does look like it will hover above $45 and $44. It does stay stable around there. Okay, this is how I look at it. Now we have a 1-eye Joe trade in here. It does point to, if my take is correct on the US FOMC, not rising rate. We will see this continue to break back up in here. Dow Jones will also break up. We have seen the double bottom of a W for the Straits Time on the mid cap stock and small cap stock, looking very interestingly, pointing upwards in here. So looking positivity, much better when we eat. Now remember, bad time don't last forever, but good time also don't last forever. A good trader will last forever. Okay, so with that, I close the closing bell for week of 11 September 2015. I'll see you in another week. Bye bye.